Hello guys, and welcome back to Power and Revolution 2020 edition with our Israeli playthrough. In the last episode, we've been overhauling some of our military infrastructure, deconstructing a lot of things that Egypt had that we don't really want. Not everything, but a lot of things. We are currently in a situation where our growth is dropping, our unemployment is rising, because just absorbing so much economy all at once was of course not a smart idea, but the game didn't leave me with a whole lot of options, so we did what we had to do. Let's return these guys to their base. Don't know why they're out there to begin with. We have to generate some economic activity, which I was attempting to do at least somewhat by throwing money into the economy, by building new military bases, dismantling old ones, things like that, dismantling some energy production, building some new energy production elsewhere. I know one thing that can help, and that's pretty cheap to set up though, and that is oil. And we still have plenty of locations for oil. So Egypt doesn't have a lot in the way of oil, but I did find that they do have at least a small amount of gas. Oh hey, there's that oil well that I couldn't find that got destroyed. I wonder why I couldn't find that last time. That's weird. Either way, despite them, having oil already in place, the pre-built thing sometimes just defies reality. It's kind of weird. But they do have gas that we can try to exploit, but where do I want to do that? This is all one large province, so we can fit 5 gas wells in there. Alright, cool. I can actually have it highlighted while I work on it. Where should we place it? There's a city over here, there's a military base down here, more military bases over here. It really doesn't matter a whole lot. I guess I just want to find a location that doesn't matter enough to plop them down without having to worry about wanting to build anything there later. We're already building an airbase over here, so I guess we're good to just kind of place things down in this general location. So let's start right around here. Yes. So this is, but this is very weak. So is it not everywhere? No, I guess not. Alright, so we might want to build it up a little more north. Maybe near these oil wells. Maybe that would be better. Still weak. What if I move it closer to the river? Is it getting closer to the river that gets rid of it? Oh, I think it is. So what about down here? Alright, well this somehow works, I guess. That's cool. Then we will just place it on the coast. Let's start with right here. This should have a weak supply. Yes, now we give it a second. And then we click so that we don't crash or freeze like we tend to. Let's see, place a second one here, give it a second, click, and now place a third one. Come on. Why are you so stingy with this location all of a sudden? Place a third one here, we'll give it a second, and now we will place a fourth one, basically on the border, I guess. Yep, we do have room for it. And now a final one can go right around, sure, let's say right there. Perfect. So now we have 5 more of those building. They're not as beneficial to our economy as the oil is because, again, we just don't have a whole lot of it. Let's see. I don't think there's any more over here, but there is some in this general region. And we should expect that since we do have gas here as well. Whereabouts should I actually stuff them? Any of this location could work. Down here is pretty worthless. I'm currently getting rid of some military bases in the area. I may want to put another air base down here, so maybe I don't want to fill it up too much. Maybe if I just put them right around the center, that could be pretty smart. Alright, let's try that. So it should be weak there. Alright, that's 1. Let's put down a second one right next to it. Perfect. Give it a second. Put down a third one. Beautiful logistics. Maybe, can I get it a little closer? If I put it up a little north, I can. Another weak one. That's 3. Let's give it a second. And now 4. The placement restrictions are so fucking weird. They can be so weird sometimes. I wish I didn't have to deal with them as much as the developers don't have to deal with them. That would be nice. Now there's only one more to place. Let's place it right around here. Weak. Perfect. Alright, that's all the gas wells. I don't know of any other locations in our entire country that actually has gas. Maybe somewhere in Syria? Okay, there are some locations in Syria that have gas. I think I was just going to build oil in Syria first, so I didn't have to worry about building in certain locations that maybe I shouldn't have. I know our number is pretty odd because we only have like 2 of them here. We have 2 down here, so that's 4. So that's why we're not rounding by 5, because we placed 25 full across provinces, whereas 2 of our provinces only have 2 now. Unfortunately, this one got destroyed, and there isn't actually a supply there because it was a cheating pre-placed one to fit historical data, whereas they didn't actually put the historical data for oil refineries or pumps in this area because they're weird. So we're going to have to actually go into Syria to build some oil by the looks of it. There's also offshore oil, but we don't need to touch any of that right now. This would be pretty easy places to just start building oil. I don't have to worry about any cities or anything, that's for certain, given the fact that the game deleted my cities in the locations. That's not very enjoyable. Let's try this one, though, and continue building in a kind of a line that we have been building in so far. I've been building on this side, near the border. It's still all very good by the looks of it. Yeah, Syria is just laden, absolutely laden with this stuff. That doesn't look like it's in my country at all, but apparently it is. Well, that's cool. I guess I'll build one there. That's 1. I'll build another one somewhere on this weird janky border. There's the second one. Here's a third one. Now we can get a 4th one. Man, my budget looks so fucking high now that our population is so crazy increased. Alright, and finally, we can get a 5th one placed down. Can we still kind of fuck with the border? Okay, that might be a little too close to, Alright, so that should still count, so I'm going to place that there. It's annoying because I don't think the game actually lets you see exactly how many oil wells are placed in a single province. No, it doesn't. That's unfortunate. So it turns out that Minister for Tourism we lost at the end of the last episode was actually a mole. Someone spying on us for another country. I don't know who. We're still getting spammed. Oh my god, I'm going to get spammed by all this crap. Good news is we've unlocked the elite tank, which means soon we will probably be able to make rank 4 tanks. That's good. That will help us for actually modernizing our tanks, because I do, again, want to modernize. And that will actually help grow and boost our economy. Oh, growth is starting to make a little bit of a rebound with all my spending. That's good. Motorist nightmare. Travel around big cities a real ordeal. Change to second gear, come on quickly. What does that mean? To travel around big cities. What do you want from me? Around big cities? There's not a lot I can do inside of big cities. I can build some subway lines, but that's about it. All I can build to improve transit inside of cities are subway lines. At least as far as I'm aware. Secondary highways, I know, fill the gaps where main highways don't go, but I don't know if they serve a city function, so that's beyond me. Holy crap, for the first time ever, I'm being invited to attend Christmas. Our religions are that... What the fuck? What? What?
Fellow esteemed citizens, our current situation is critical.
No! What? Kuwait doesn't stand a chance. Well, actually, you have to land on Kuwait, but still, Kuwait doesn't stand a chance. Also, they're my bro. They're my ally. They're my friends. Hey, look, I'm unlocking new military equipment. It's like the world's just telling me that I have to fight Iran. What the hell? And we're infiltrating some terrorists. Iran just declared war on Kuwait out of nowhere. Why is this getting more warmongery? Is this still an effect from all my weirdness? Because, I mean, Kuwait's allied with me. If my allies are being declared war on by those that hate me, I feel like that's my fault, though Kuwait wasn't involved in any of that crap. Alright, there's already missiles flying from Iran to Kuwait. First Iran fought Pakistan, and now they're fighting Kuwait. Kuwait doesn't stand a fucking chance. Raging conflict. Yeah, they're just shooting missiles. A helicopter died. What the hell? I mean, look at this. Look at this balance of power. Look at this. Kuwait can't win. I'm not gonna help them win. I don't care if they're my fucking ally. What's the worst that could happen if I don't help? More of what I want to know, though, is they are friends with the United States, right? So what does this mean? Kuwait. So they only have a non-aggression pact with the UK and the United States, but there is a US... Who was that? So there's a Iranian drone. Does the UK have bases here? I know the US does. They like me. They wouldn't have been gray. Who has a base here that's gray? Because you saw that plane was gray. Or it was white. Meaning it was a neutral country. That one I have neutral relationship with. Military cooperation. Yeah. Yeah, about that.
You are our infiltrated agents
spotted and murdered. The Israeli Brigades of Islam. I don't think that was anyone I infiltrated. No. No, so that's okay. But really, who was that? Whose planes were those? Alright, there's some Kuwaiti planes. Oh, fuck. I think I just missed it again. No, I think that was Iranian. I'm really fucking curious. Oh, it was the UK. So the UK has planes over here. They don't have an air base, but they have planes over here. And now the UK is actually fighting back at least a little bit. They've killed some commandos, one commando, which means they've had a direct conflict. And the missiles are just flying. Kuwait is too close. It's going to suffer a lot of missile attacks. Without Iraq getting involved, there's no direct land path here. Kuwait has officially declared war on Iran and has called on the UN to issue an ultimatum. Well, we know how that's going to go. The whole world's probably going to vote yes, and you're going to see everyone jump to the aid of Kuwait. This isn't as problematic as Egypt. Egypt, if it was taken by someone else, would have blocked my entire path into an entire continent. While Iran is precariously placed right here in the only land path into Asia without going through Russia, I can go through Russia. That's the difference. I am allies with Russia. I can go through Russia all I want. Better yet, I mean, this is just right next to here. It's not as much of an issue. Plus, let's say Iran actually fell to someone, I wouldn't really have to worry about it because I have all of Africa I can take over, plus the rest of the Middle East. So if someone actually took over Iran, really, I wouldn't mind it too much, especially if it was someone that liked me. I'd rather have a friend here than an enemy, because then I can have the way to India and China, two of the world's largest superpowers that don't exactly like me, blocked off. Iran once again declared war on Kuwait because that's weird. Kuwait's gone to war with Iran. I think we'll see some nations come to the defense of Kuwait, who is trying to have some kind of counterattack here, but the missiles that are flying are just too much. They've already lost an air base. There's a U.S. land base here, but not an air base. So the U.S. doesn't have any planes over here, just troops. Maybe some helicopters. Iran and the United Kingdom, how is this going? Barely any casualties, just 2 commandos probably. Kuwait versus Iran, yeah, the balance of power is awful. The balance of fighting is surprisingly in Kuwait's favor. What the hell? It's because of the sheer amount of infantry. Look at the differences in power here. Kuwait doesn't stand a chance, but holy crap, man. It's really a shame Iraq's not getting involved. I'd love to see Iraq take over Iran. That would be kind of hilarious. Ooh, but yeah, the missiles are still flying. Kuwait seems like they're trying to make an advance, but that's probably not going to go anywhere. More than likely, the missiles are going to fly until all of Kuwait's just a living hellhole. Someone will probably get involved based on the UN ultimatum. And then, I don't know if they'll actually send anyone to help. Kuwait may fall. It may not. I guess we're just going to have to find out. Good news is our growth is already going back up. It's at 1.09% without me even needing to finish anything. So who knows what the fuck's going to happen to it when I actually finish all these fucking buildings. Because I'm building a lot. It's good to see it going in the right direction for now anyway. How long is on these wind farms? Oh, a good amount of time. Another like 130 days. These have forever to finish. The oil, on the other hand, does it even take as long? It doesn't even take as long to begin with, so it will be done first. Whew, the battle's still raging over here. I'm trying to keep an eye on it, while also trying to heal my nation. Oh man, look at the dead Kuwaiti infantry. More missile launchers leaving and being shot at. They're trying to fire, but their range isn't so great, so they end up trying to go into the ocean to land on Iran to fire back, but that just gets them killed even more. Kuwait's definitely not winning here. I'd love to see, though, what would happen if Iran actually took Kuwait and the U.S. base was still here. Because I know Iran would call for the U.S. to leave, but would they? There is officially a Battle of Kuwait City, so Iran has landed troops and got them into Kuwait City. There's also a hostage situation. Iran doesn't look like they're winning the battle, but more than likely they have more troops inbound. Kuwait's just too small to be defended by a country with so many missiles, and it looks like Iran is even trespassing through Iraq. Unless Iraq has given them permission to be here, then Iran is trespassing to get there, meaning Iraq could get involved unless Iraq has permission, or Iran has permission to be in Iraq. Let's see. Iran. They have no friendly treaties whatsoever. None. Meaning they should not have any transit rights going through Iraq. So this should be considered trespassing, which means Iraq may actually get involved. Iran has taken the Kuwait International Airport. They've taken Kuwait City and a military base and a naval base and a oh my god, they've taken everything. I think Kuwait just surrendered. Look, everything is Iranian. I think Kuwait already surrendered just like that. Oh, dude, even if I wanted to help, I couldn't have gotten anything over there that quickly. The only thing here that is not Iranian now is the base belonging to the United States. I think the conflict is over as soon as it started. And yet, the UN intervention hasn't gone through. Meaning I think Iran just sniped Kuwait, and because of their lightning speed, I don't believe anyone's actually going to get involved, because remember we learned that intervention from the UN seems to be a defensive measure, which means it's probably not going to... Oh my god, look at Iran with Kuwait. The conflict seems to be completely over. But what's the result? Is it annexation? It is! Look, it's a province. It looks like it's becoming a province of Iran, or maybe it's just saying that it's been occupied, but it looks like they're going to annex it. Oh, this is nuts. I just love how I've taken over so many poor, terribly funded countries that not only is my healthcare down to dog shit at this point, but my life expectancy has gone from like 83 down to 67. Yet with all that population growth I have, it really doesn't matter. Sure, my people are going to start living not as long, but with this kind of growth, it's still going to pile up like crazy. For once, I don't mind that everyone's dying early. You know why else I don't mind it? Because look at the retirement age. For men, it's 67. For women, it's 62. I actually want to move this up to 67 at some point. It would save money. But if more and more elderly stop making it longer in life, then with a high growth rate, we actually optimize our healthcare costs. I really do need to change that. I don't want to overwhelm my unemployment, however. So as we can see, war against Kuwait, the declaration of victory is imminent, and Kuwait's war against Iran, enemy progress slower than expected, but looks like they have annexed Kuwait. They just walked in there and annexed it. Looks like the U.S. even left. I've never seen that happen before. The U.S. didn't get involved in the war, and then when the annexation happens, looks like they just gave away the location. I don't know if there's any U.S. troops left over there, but it looks like not. It looks like they're just gone. So Iran just successfully sniped Kuwait before anyone on the world scene could react. They lost some casualties, but they probably lost more fighting Pakistan, if we're being honest. And they've managed to now expand their territory. I remember initially when Pakistan was at war with Iran, I think Pakistan was the aggressors, and now Iran's aggressing. And now this is a little interesting thing here. This means we can acquire Kuwait by fighting Iran in the future, depending on how this goes. Alright, so it's a new year and a lot of stuff just happened and it's kind of terrifying. So of course we have some new dilapidated housing. That's just a thing. Our growth for the year was 1.51%.
As you know,
but now it's listed at 5.5%, and our projected deficit is actually a ginormous excess. I didn't see anything about taking out debt just yet. Who is this? Somalia Democratic Liberation Front. Yeah, I don't think we're ever going to get those guys I'm looking for. But right now, our budget excess is way better, and our total growth is through the roof. Meaning I may have overcompensated a little too quickly. Nothing's even finished, just as a reminder. Nothing I've ordered to build is even finished. So that's pretty nuts. Here, let me just fix this situation with Somalia. I don't think we're ever going to find the terrorists that I'm actually trying to find, so let's just put you back on cyber attack. Well, so far, our growth is actually holding steady at 5.51%, which is pretty nuts. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and raise my interest rate back up to the 5% that it was sitting at earlier to help keep control of my inflation before it starts getting out of hand, because I can see this number of growth just going up, especially since I'm building so much stuff. Luckily, most of it's gas and it won't provide a lot to the economy anyway. Well, there goes the initiative against Iran, except there's no more Kuwait to defend because the UN was so slow about it. So, flashlight, Kuwait, you have been sniped. Every fucking day in this game, I swear. Every other day. Some very common amount of time. I'm just getting spammed with messages like, oh my god, this fleet is too close to our waters. Should I go warmonger? Oh, this fleet's too close to our waters. Should I go warmonger? Oh, there's troops on our territory. Should I go kill them? I so fucking wish I could turn these off. My hand gets tired from clicking them. I have to keep cutting it out. But I record these 30-minute episodes for like over an hour. And I swear to God, half the time is me literally just closing these stupid fucking alerts that the game spams you with. Okay, well, our growth just took a healthy dip and our unemployment took a healthy step up, I guess, as I've adjusted my currency rate to keep my inflation under control, which seems to have been effective, but it is still going up. Of course, we have a massive fucking growth rate, 5%. That's nuts. Even with a 5% interest rate, that's not likely to keep up if it stays there. Inflation's ticked up another, not a tenth, 100th of a percent. Unemployment ticking back down, growth ticking back up despite me raising the interest rate. We have a very interesting year ahead of us, and right now I've already done so much that I'm just kind of sitting back and letting time pass, letting all these buildings build, letting the growth do what it's doing, inflation, unemployment, just kind of enjoying my peace and quiet. We have our budget excess still pretty high, but going down. We did take out debt, I believe. Yes, we totally took out some debt. I mean, anything we spend comes out of debt because we don't have a surplus. Therefore, we take debt for everything that we spend, even if we are making money, because all the money we're making is going to paying off old debts. So even if we do have a budget excess, it's just going into paying off old debt while we then buy new debt, or sell new debt, I guess is how it works, in order to purchase and build the things that we are doing. As it stands, my economy is so hot again after taking over Egypt, despite going into the negatives for a second there. I guess it's not after taking over Egypt, but it's after reaching the year 2026 that I just have to kind of keep an eye on it and not do much, just to make sure that nothing goes terribly. Oh yeah, remember this freight terminal, this oil terminal we were building? Well, it's still not done, and it still won't be done for a while. But damn, that Turkish troop incursion is just a constant threat. And no, this won't get rid of it if I press it. If I press it, then every time there's a troop incursion, it will just automatically refuse. And that's not what I want. It won't stop it from popping up. It won't make my life any easier. It'll make my life a little harder. I can't believe these things are still deconstructing. Holy shit, 120 days. I guess it makes sense, but damn. I feel like I've been watching that for a while. One of the most annoying things about these pop-ups is I keep getting a pop-up about this guy being on a hunger strike since like episode fucking 15? I don't know. Around the time of taking over Lebanon, I think. I've been getting this same pop-up from the same guy, even though he loves me. He's on an eternal hunger strike, which is not actually causing any damage. Simultaneously, once a month, I get a pop-up telling me that one of my nationals has been kidnapped by a terrorist group, yet I never see it. It never turns out to be an actual kidnapping event. It's just a fake notification that's not actually happening according to the game. Growth, by the way, still increasing. Unemployment, still lowering. Inflation, still raising. National deficit, still a surplus. So, it's going. Another weekly economic calculation has gone by, and while inflation is still on the rise, growth seems to have leveled out, only going up 0.02%, rather than by large leaps like it has been. However, that might not last for long, because if it is staying there, then the moment all these gas wells and oil wells and wind farms start finishing, it may start looking radically different. Oh, hey, look, the U.S. is using the Suez Canal. See, I'm not quite sure who has permission to use the Suez Canal. I want to assume that all cargo shipping does have permission to use it. I could be wrong. I certainly don't see a lot of cargo shipping use it. Like, there's nothing much out here. Okay, here's... Who is this? What country is this? Well, I know what France is. Who's this other flag? That looks like Iraq? No. Whose flag is that? United Arab Emirates? Yes. So they have permission to go through with their cargo by the looks of it. Yet I have no treaties with them. So I'm going to assume all cargo can pass through the Suez. But military vessels cannot, at least not without permission. Which makes sense, I guess. I mean, real life Egypt hates, or at least is not friendly with, I guess they don't hate. I'm probably thinking Cold War Egypt, but modern day Egypt is pretty friendly. Or, well, they're not allies with the US, but the US moves carriers through this bitch. And the Winter Olympics is happening in Italy, oh my god! So guys, remember how in Lebanon a satellite got stuck and couldn't move? Well, my satellite in Egypt has suffered the same fate. It's stuck, and I cannot move it. Oh, it moved a little. No, come on. You can do it. Get out. Get out. Come on. God fucking damn it. Why? I just want to get you down to Sudan so I can keep an eye on it. Why is it being so gay? Well, there you have it. I have another satellite stuck. I don't even know where all my satellites are, man. I'm supposed to have 7 of them. I know one's in Saudi. I know one's in Iran. I know... no, I don't know where anything is after that, actually. But I know I'm supposed to have a bunch of them. And I don't know if a lot of them are just stuck or something. But there's 7 of them. Let me go ahead and just move them all to where the hell... Oh, I have one in Andorra. I have one over in that location. One in Iran. One in Saudi. One in Jordan. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 3, 4, 5. There's one in a city in Lebanon. 6, and then the one stuck in Egypt. Why is there one in the city of Beirut? Why were you in there? I never told you to go there. But okay. Let's get you down to Sudan, because you can actually move. I hate this bug. I hate all these bugs. I wish this game was bug-free, but it's not. Oh my god, my mom just died. After that weekly economic calculation, growth has continued to rise by a decent amount again. Inflation still rising. Unemployment not dropping like crazy. It's so weird to me that the growth in this game can be so high, and yet the unemployment can be so stagnant. That's not how it works in real life. Before I forget, I'm gonna go ahead and get rid of all this dilapidated housing because it pops up every year and we just got some more of it. We have a very interesting situation. A bit of extra growth more than I want again. Just like when we had just taken over Lebanon, Well, actually for most of the game. I kind of miss not having enough growth now, but I'm sure we'll find a way through it, get through it. Once everything starts getting built, it should start cooling down a little bit, but there's still a long way to go, despite how much time has actually passed in this episode. But, so we continue. So thank you guys very much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.